So what is the breath of life?
Okay. What is the breath of life? What indeed? I have problems with some of these expressions, and the breath of life is perhaps one of them, because I don't know what is the breath of life. To describe what is the breath of life is somehow to limit it, to put it into an understandable, intellectually conceptualized, understandable package. So what it is, I don't know. I experience it from time to time in everything around me. It reveals itself in everything around me. But to separate the breath of life from its affects and to think that somehow I can work with it as though it was a separate object, this I find difficult. So my simple answer is I don't know what is the breath of life. And I suspect I may give the same answer to all the questions that may come at me. But I don't know what is. Yeah, okay.
Biodynamic.
Okay. I'm kind of clear about the meanings of the components of the word biodynamic. Bio has something to do with life, the essence perhaps of life. Dynamic implies movement. When I put the two together, biodynamic, what I would be talking about would be life taking form in movement. The life itself is causing the movement. Life itself is the dynamic. So to use biodynamic as an adjective and to say that this is biodynamic and that is biodynamic, I have a little difficulty with that because, to be honest, I do not know what is not biodynamic. Either things are manufactured in a factory or elsewhere, or even in our heads, or they take form as of and from themselves. That to me is the true meaning of biodynamic. So I don't see it as an adjective so much as a declaration of the essence of the universe itself, that it declares itself, and the very best we can possibly do is to try to have some sense of being in tune with it. I resist, I'm afraid, the idea that in some way we can work with it, because that makes us the subject and it the object. It is, of course, the other way around.
What's health? What is health?
Health, I think, is, as I mentioned just now in the last answer, it has something to do with harmony, being in tune with, not being a victim of. So real health, we might call, is lack of suffering. Suffering is an attachment to things we don't like, things we prefer were something different, in some way different. I see health as riding the wave of what is. Health is riding the wave of what is without too much attachment to what is, without too much struggle with what is, being at home in oneself, being at home in one's body, being at home in one's environment. Peace is a nice word. Being at peace with how one is, I would describe as being health. In that peace, I may have knees that give me problem when I sit down or stand up. I may from time to time get irritable or have a headache or whatever it may be. But if I can be at peace with that, then I am in health. It sometimes happens. How does this work? I don't know again. It's magic. It's a mystery. I shall be very sorry if there should become a day, and to be sure it won't come in my lifetime, when there is no mystery left, when we know all the answers to everything. I have an expression that I use a lot, which is, let the work do the work. Let intelligence itself do the work. With our intellects, we cannot possibly circumscribe intelligence. We can only be in awe of its manifestations everywhere. And I believe if we can surrender in some way, surrender must always follow a greater awareness. First comes the awareness, then comes the possibility of surrender. But if I can surrender what keeps me separate, even individuated, from the biodynamic expression of the universe, it will do the work. I don't have to do the work. If I have the skill and somebody has a dislocated little finger, I suppose I can pull it out and with a moment of rather severe pain, push it back in again, and the dislocated little finger is cured. The work is not about that. That is a mechanical work. It is an admirable work, and I look for an expert when I have a dislocated little finger. But the work I'm interested in, and the work that I think that this work called craniosacral therapy, which puts us in immediate and safe contact with the body, leads us to do, is to witness the health expressing itself in the body, to witness the separation from the health declaring itself through the body. Then, to use the word I used just now, in awe we can watch intelligence at work, performing its miracles of homeostasis.
And what is it to be present?
What is it to be present? I don't think it's got much to do with... I think to be present needs describing in this way. It means to listen fully. And the word to listen is defined very beautifully in the Chinese ideogram for the word to listen, which has 4 components. The components are the eyes, of course, the ears, of course, full attention, the heart. If we can be present to something or somebody with full attention from the heart, then we are present. We are not victims of all our undigested past life experience, which makes us give habitual reactions, but we can make a proactive response to whatever is there without any judgment in that time and place with clarity. I sometimes do that too.
What's illness? How do we get ill?
And how we get ill, I suppose, is really the other side of that same coin. It's through basically not being present, through becoming attached to our undigested stories, which continue to ferment inside us. We get constipated if we keep on carrying around the same undigested story and being continually reactive to it. The body will find some way of expressing its dissatisfaction, the cause of that dissatisfaction, the cause of that discomfort, the cause of that suffering, as the Buddha described it, may well be something that you can specify that has just happened. It may be some trauma that has happened to you a long way in the past. I suppose it may be even some trauma that may have happened in the lifetime of your parents and not necessarily in your own. But it has had an effect on us. It is not digested. A habituation is formed, a loop is formed, and we go on and on repeating our suffering, demonstrating it in the way we reply to situations, the way we respond to situations. The suffering keeps on changing its form. One piece of symptomatology may be softened. Another piece will declare itself. So that is the illness. That is the suffering, taking many forms from causes that may go back so far that we cannot even be aware of them any longer. If, however, going back to your question about the present, we can come into the present where the cause of that suffering no longer is, let go and be aware of our responsibility for suffering, be aware how we are continuing to carry around these trauma, if you like. Only then, in that present moment of awareness, lies the possibility of opening a door and letting it go. Until we become aware, we are a victim. We may continue to be a victim after we've come aware. It's up to us. We may have to work. But when we take the responsibility and the awareness, the possibility for change is there. It is so beautiful in this work when you see people, without being told what they should do or how they should do it, they merely expand their awareness and you watch the transformation.
Thank you very much.